Now, in a change of programme, we present a London match special.
Welcome to a jam-packed Upton Park. 28,000 people inside, thousands more locked out. The gates closed half an hour before the kick-off. The vast majority coming here to see if the Hammers can make it to the Premier Division. They need a win. Portsmouth are pushing West Ham very hard, and our cameras are reflecting all the action down at Fratton Park. A very special welcome to you if you're joining us from the Anglia region. It's a very big day here for Cambridge United. They need a win to be sure of staying up. Cambridge, one of 7 teams who could go down on this very dramatic last day of the season. Let's go straight to our match commentator here at Upton Park. It's Gerry Harrison.
A quick check on the teams first. West Ham unchanged from the team which gave them probably their best result of the season last week at Swindon, after Portsmouth, of course, had lost at Sunderland. Ian Bishop keeps his place in midfield alongside the former Cambridge player Peter Butler. Clive Allen awaits on the subs bench in case the goals don't come. West Ham's home record is very good, but not as good as Portsmouth. But one player already celebrating, Steve Potts, his birthday yesterday, and before the game here voted Hammer of the Year. There's a party atmosphere here already, but still, he says, a very difficult job to do. Cambridge, after a dramatic rise from the 4th Division and just missing out on the Premier League last year, have struggled all season. 3 managers, a change of style, many serious injuries. It's become so desperate they've resorted to hypnotism, and results certainly have improved. John Phelan, the Australian Olympic team goalkeeper, came to England this year to gain experience of the English game. He suddenly finds himself in the Cambridge goal, a key figure in a tremendous football drama. A referee, always a key figure in these tense affairs, David Ellery, a housemaster at Harrow School. So it's West Ham who kick off on the threshold of automatic promotion to the Premier League. A packed Upton Park here to roar them on. Cambridge, one of 7 clubs, any 2 of which will be relegated to the 2nd Division. If West Ham win, then Portsmouth need to win and to score 2 more goals than West Ham to overtake them. If Cambridge win, they stay up. If they draw, they'll stay up if either Southend, Notts County or Brentford lose, and if Birmingham don't win. So it's a complicated affair, but basically West Ham have to get their priorities right here, according to Billy Bonds. They've got to go for a win and stop worrying about anybody else. Piled up there is Tony Gilmore coming to the near post. Dix couldn't get in there. Robson goes down the left-hand side as Bishop gets it forward. Well picked up by Clayton. And the word is that the hypnotist has programmed Cambridge to win 2-0, and they're going to try and attack. Could be dangerous, it could be fatal, but it could open up the spectacle here. They're certainly squeezed up. They're not holding back here. Playing straight to 4 at the back. Kimball does keep it in, but it's breaking and picking it up. A difficult pitch here for West Ham indeed, for both sides, but it will probably suit Cambridge more as Rayner goes forward. Trying to look for help from Dennis. Clayton. Clayton can hit him from a distance. He hits it, but with no real power. And Clayton, who's scored a couple of whiz-bang goals for Cambridge, has got them on the roll here and showed that they're going to attack. Billy Bonds beforehand, unusually a little bit apprehensive, and he's anxious that his side should be patient. Dennis losing out, and Bishop chips it in. Here's Keane picking it up. Kimball trying to close him down. Breaker hacks it over. And Robson gets it back in again. Speedy! It's a good effort. Two lost causes chased there by the West Ham wide men. And David Speedy was onto a very awkward volley. Good play first of all by Keane, then well retrieved as Breaker's cross is hacked back by Mark Robson. Speedy off balance and over she goes. Breaker gets a foot to it. Claridge protesting to the referee that should have been a Cambridge throw, but nothing doing. Tight marking by Cambridge. Breaker down the line to Speedy. Bishop still can't get a grip in midfield, West Ham. Butler, ball hanging up in the wind. Clayton to Claridge. A lot of players in the penalty area, but good tackling. Group play there by West Ham. With a poor clearance. Kimball whacks it in first time to Tony Dennis. And Tony Dennis shoots! West Ham hanging about there with a clearance, and Claridge and Dennis between them set up a shot, and McCloskey stretching to his right. After a poor clearance by West Ham, it suddenly comes to Claridge and Dennis, and a great save. Big fellas in there for Rayner's corner. Heathcote coming in from the back. Chappell is there. It's Heathcote putting a lot of pressure on Dix, and now he goes again for another corner, and it's West Ham under the cosh here. This, according to the script in the East End, was meant to be constant pressure from West Ham and a happy ending at the end of it. Cambridge having no part of that, and they're taking the game to West Ham. Chappell on the near post. Heathcote and Butler and O'Shea coming in from the edge of the area. Up goes Chappell, and McCloskey lumps it forward quickly. There's only Robson up here. Back in again by Clayton. Morley. Bishop. That's a good move with Breaker and Keane on the right-hand side. Commits the defender. Now Keane should be able to get a cross in. And that's a corner to West Ham. That's more like it, the Upton Park fans feel. This is a test now for the Australian goalkeeper Phelan, with Gale and Morley coming in. Dix on a run already, and a header from Breaker, away by Butler, but not a good clearance, picked up by the other Butler, Steve, and it's a poor one, and that's all over. Just a little touch. Potts needs to get hold of this one, otherwise it might be a throw to Cambridge. Does well, plenty of time for McCloskey to settle on it and use the advantage of the wind. Robson does well, but it's Claridge, nice little ball, good interception by the abrasive Dix, who has a little go at Rayner as he passes him, and Dix is in a little bit of trouble. Chappell thinking about the back pass. Could be an interesting confrontation between Dix and Rayner over that flank. They're both very physical, abrasive players. Morley a little touch, but nowhere. Chappell under a bit of pressure, and that's a goal kick. They came here for a party, but so far in the first few minutes it hasn't been like that. Heathcote with Morley, and forward goes Speedy. He's got half a chance here. Well gathered by the goalkeeper. Speedy was within sight of goal here from that little touch by Morley, but the defensive work was just adequate. But you'll probably notice the change note of the atmosphere. That's because the news has come through that Portsmouth are trailing by 1 goal. Good turn, another cross, in goes Claridge. Oh, it just flicked off his head and past the far post. Cambridge desperately unlucky there. Good cross from the right by Alan Kimball. Claridge is in there on the near post. The touch wasn't quite enough, but McCluskey was struggling. For Ian Atkins, who came here to attack, so far so good. Claridge gets in there to stop Dix, but it's Dix now. Going for the return. Tight marking by Cambridge, good challenging. But there's a chance here for Robson to work a little magic on that flank against Chappell. And here comes Morley with a bit of space. And the flying challenge from Danny O'Shea prevented the ball going on target, but he certainly had plenty of time there, Trevor Morley, far too much time. Good pass from Robson. He was able to bring it down, but O'Shea got to him fast and away went for a corner. Robson's kick, Gale couldn't get there, but it's Robson again. Not a good one, but Gale gets in there. Away by O'Shea. There's problems here for Cambridge. Knocked wide and safely away though by Peter Butler, who's had a very good first half in what has been a packed midfield. Claridge and Butler, and McCluskey, who's certainly been the busier of the two goalkeepers. Breaker didn't really want that in those circumstances, but Keane is there to help him. Morley does well. And Ledbetter's in there hard. They're battling for everything, Cambridge, but the referee didn't like that one. 5 minutes of time added on in this first half. Dix, a little bit of inspiration has come from his left foot, but not enough really. Dix and Robson. Here's Potts. Morley, a little touch away by Alan Kimball. And there at last is the whistle for the end of the first half. A fragmented first 45 minutes. And indeed, it was Cambridge who bravely took the game to West Ham United, who really didn't get going until the good news filtered through from Fratton Park that Portsmouth were down. They've got a little bit of their game going, but here so far at Upton Park, very little goalmouth incident. Two good chances really for Cambridge, but at the moment it's West Ham United 0, Cambridge United 0. Welcome back to Upton Park, this promotion and relegation decider. West Ham trying to go up, Cambridge trying to stay up. West Ham, a superb performance last week at Swindon. They haven't really put it together anything like as impressively on home territory as last week away from home. Really, this has been the story of their season. Sometimes good away, sometimes good at home, but never quite knowing which was coming next. For Cambridge, it's been a struggle all the time, but under Ian Atkins, they've had only 3 defeats in 12 away matches, and they might feel they could get something here. As Butler challenges for this one, and it's hooked away by Gale. And I thought that Billy Bonds might have had a word or two to say at half-time, and Keane pushing forward to get Robson forward with a fine pass here. Robson against Heathcote, lovely play. Robson's cross, and put away by Alan Kimball for an early corner. That's more like it from West Ham. They've had good news that it's going to be an uphill struggle for Portsmouth at Fratton Park. They've probably had a bit of a volley from their manager, and they're coming forward. Good defensive play though. Keats kick. Dix gets in there well, and there's a chance here, and Speedy hacks it in. Puts West Ham in front. Less than 2 minutes into the second half. There was a ball that Cambridge couldn't get clear. Dix won it bravely. Chappell couldn't get there, and Speedy lashes onto a loose ball off Robson and bangs it past Fylan. So David Speedy, something of a villain to some of the supporters here at Upton Park, strangely enough. A valuable fourth goal for West Ham, and it puts them much, much nearer the Premier League. They're chasing this one now. Now this is going to be a difficult one for Cambridge, because the whole atmosphere has changed here now. Butler, who in the first half of a lot of interruptions, a lot of fouls and free kicks. Here's how it happened with Dix winning the valuable ball. Robson couldn't control it, but the experience of Speedy showed there. Dix supporting once more. Well, he slipped there, but a little bit of fortune to regain it. Dennis hacks at it. It falls to Mark Robson, who can get a telling ball in. Kimball wins well as Kevin Keane came on to hit that header in. And Upton Park is really alive here. Help from Martin Allen to place the kick for Keane. Gale again on the near post. Well, Chapel won it, but I think the wind caused a little bit of a problem, or the bend of the ball at least. Now Cambridge are really under the cosh. Not only have they got to keep them out, but they've got to score at the other end to give themselves a chance to stay in this division. In goes Dix. Good header. Quite clean enough. And a good drive. Bishop's powerful effort. Well blocked by the Australian Phelan, and then scrambled away. He did well, because I don't think he really saw it all that cleanly. What a hit from Ian Bishop, though. The loose ball, and the goalkeeper unsighted. Robson's kick. Finan comes for this, does well. He falls on it. Non-contract player at the moment, and Cambridge have made a bid for him to buy him from his Sydney Budapest club. Speedy didn't quite get there. Away by Mick Heathcote. Butler, Morley, Rayner. But they've got so many players back, it's going to be hard to find the front players as Morley is fighting hard. Bishop is with him. Bishop, Morley's in with a chance at number 2. Phelan did well to get a touch there. Good goalkeeping. Great play by West Ham after Cambridge dillied and dallied getting that ball away. Morley's challenge opened it up. Was it a foul? No, according to the referee. Bishop helped him, lovely little pass, then good goalkeeping. So substitution now for West Ham United. Clive Allen, the experienced head, is coming on, and Robson is coming off at a time when Portsmouth are getting back into the game at Fratton Park. It's 1-1, so they need more goals here, and Clive Allen's the man to get them probably. Claridge wins it. Heathcote beaten by Morley. Knocked away by Chapel, and a flying header from Dix. The atmosphere might increase in tempo now, because Cambridge have got to get goals. They have no chance of staying up if they lose, unless they score 4, and there's a few freak results elsewhere, and that's not going to happen. West Ham need more goals to secure that Premier League place. Butler with Potts breaks to Keane, who's always around to help defence and attack. In goes O'Shea. Claridge, Butler. Forward goes Chris Ledbetter. He can drive them. There's a chance for Cambridge, and they've scored. What? Disallowed it. I can't believe it. The the linesman's flag is up over the far side for offside. As Chris Ledbetter comes forward, there's an opening here, he drives it, but the flag's up at this stage, and the goal has been disallowed. The protests continue, and let's have a look at this. Bartlett is offside according to the linesman, and he was interfering with play according to the referee. So Chris Ledbetter's goal here in the 17th minute of the second half has been disallowed, and that could condemn Cambridge to the second division. And Morley gets forward looking for the second. Good save again by Phelan. Well, when Ian Atkins was talking about this game early on, and Bartlett's getting forward again. Ian Atkins remembered the time when he came here with Ipswich and a controversial referee's decision condemned them to relegation. Now I think he will say the same here as Allen gets forward. Allen looking for a run that he didn't get from a colleague. But a player who's not 100% fit after a long absence through a calf injury. Gale getting over Butler. Now it's a chase by Speedy with O'Shea. This is an awkward one. Phelan comes to it. Good header. Nicely done. And it's Alan Kimball who gets away down the left-hand side. But West Ham get it back again, and now Cambridge are short at the back. Keane. Bishop has gone forward. This is shooting space here for Allen. Oh, that's another bit of good gathering by the goalkeeper. That was a very awful ball. It was a miss-hit by Clive Allen as Speedy gave him a really good opening, particularly on his left foot. Speedy, not well marked, good delivery, well held. Well, these are anxious time for West Ham, leading by 1-0. But as Billy Bonds looks at his watch and other people there are listening to their radios, they will know that if Portsmouth score another goal, it's 2-1 at the moment at Fratton Park at this stage, then it's Portsmouth who will go up and not West Ham. So West Ham need goals. Dix with the throw. They're leading by 1-0, although apparently at Fratton Park there seem to be a misconception that West Ham are drawing at the moment. That would suit Cambridge, but it's not true. And here goes Keane forward, and is put out well by Phil Chappell. This is where West Ham need to keep it, and where Cambridge don't want it. Keane with the kick. Gale up on the near post. Dix gets up there well. It's a good header, but it was wide. He's won such a lot in the penalty area. Billy Bonds urging them on. There's space here for Clive Allen. Can they wrap it up here in injury time? Injury time for Morley. Here's Bishop. Martin Allen forward goes Dix. Dix has still got it, there's a chance here, and it's 2-0. Clive Allen, and they are definitely in the Premier League now. But the game really isn't over officially. The crowd have invaded the pitch illegally, and what has the referee done here? Because the news is coming through that Portsmouth have won by 2-1. But there's a great danger here that the celebrations of the West Ham supporters could spoil everything. Clive Allen is saying just that. Get off, because it could damage the whole joyous scene. His second goal for West Ham means that if the game finishes in the normal prescribed way, then they're up with Newcastle. But quite rightly, he's saying, you're going to ruin everything. Well, the story of that goal was that Cambridge have committed players forward, and committed so many forward that when Dix won it and knocked it square to Clive Allen, there was no one to challenge. They gambled everything on getting an equaliser, and it didn't work. Now it's just a matter of time. And choruses of bubbles break out. Butler pushes forward, and it's Tim Breaker who bangs it for safety. And there's the final whistle, and now it really is all over. So victory for West Ham by 2 goals to 0. Jubilation and chaos here at Upton Park, and real disappointment for Portsmouth at Fratton Park, and relegation for Cambridge. West Ham goes straight into the Premier League with Newcastle. Prestige for the team and the supporters. 2 second-half goals here. Badly needed financial boost for the club. For Cambridge, after 3 brilliantly successful seasons, it's the other side of the coin now. Relegated after a season of long struggles. Will hit every aspect of a very small club. Let's join David Speedy with Jim Rosenthal.
David, many congratulations. What a day here, and you set the party on the way.
Oh, it's magic. I didn't want to go through the playoffs again. I mean, the atmosphere has been tremendous. The support has been magnificent. Turned out in the thousands. It's been a great day.
You've had your dodgy moments with the fans here. That goal, I think, has probably changed everything, hasn't it?
Well, that's water under the bridge now. We're in the Premier League. I don't know what's going to be happening with myself next season, but I'm just glad to have helped the club up into the Premier.
Typical bit of work from you, David, the goal.
Well, you know, you just got to keep sniffing in there, and luckily I got a little rebound and I knocked it in the back of the net.
These are sort of heady, exciting days for fans here. What's it like to play in a match like that?
That's very nerve-wracking. I mean, the players were very nervous. We knew we had to win. We knew what the score was down at Pompey, so we were just glad when the referee gave offside for the equalising goal.
Were you keeping in touch with the scores, particularly that one at Pompey during the game?
Well, I didn't really know until 5 minutes from the time what the score was down there, but you know, it's magnificent. You can hear the fans. It's brilliant.
Just finally, you've been around a few clubs, but the top flight really is probably where West Ham belong.
Well, that's where they belong. It's a great club. They'll go a long way.
Thanks for joining us so quickly, David.
No problem. Cheers.
All sorts of scenes of celebration back here at Upton Park. They've been blowing bubbles in the dressing room there with the #1 fan, 15-year-old Terry Smith. The Hammers are up into the Premier Division. You rejoin us live here at Upton Park. Things are quietened down a little bit, but I tell you, throughout the afternoon, the match Portsmouth and Grimsby was captivating everybody's attention. Thousands following that match on their radios. All sorts of false rumours were spreading. Let's see what actually happened now with Peter Brackley.
Here's Dobbin, closed out by Chamberlain. Daniel surging away. So too much of that though to McDermott. Owen Knight's caught off his line, and a goal. Dawes has scored. Daniel lost it there. It came off McDermott, and it's just flicked on with Knight completely stranded. Neil with Chamberlain wide. Still Chamberlain. Pulling it back, and Wilmot, and it's gone in! In off the post. Daniel was in there at the finish. Wilmot beaten at last, and Pompey, 11 minutes into the second half, are back on level terms. Good work by Chamberlain now, taking on Croft. Just brushed away and knocked in again by Daniel as it comes back off the post. Lawrence. Outside him is Daniel. Walsh in the middle. Great turn by Walsh. And it's there now. Whittingham has got it. 2-1. And lost. Celebrations among the Pompey fans. Daniel away down the left. Walsh squeezing inside. And tucked in by Whittingham, number 47 of the season. Pompey lead 2-1.
And those results at Upton Park and Fratton Park means this is what the top of Division 1 looks like tonight. West Ham are promoted amid those scenes of great jubilation. Portsmouth finish third and go into the playoffs, along with Tranmere, Swindon and Leicester, who play live on the London match at Newcastle tomorrow.
Well, then Gabriel Clark there with the position at the top of Division 1, but let's have a look at things at the bottom now. I think at the start of play today, 7 clubs were in danger of going down. At Root Hall this afternoon, 2 of them clashed head-on. Southend and Luton.
Stan Collymore now with the chance to take on his defenders and put in a telling cross. A low cross it is, but it's cleared by Trevor Peake, only as far as Andy Sussex. What a great goal from Andy Sussex. 22 minutes gone here, and Andy Sussex makes it 1-0 to Southend. The cross here from Stan Collymore looked as if it was going to be cleared easily. It was cleared, but only as far as Sussex on the volley. What a great goal. And Tilson just lumps the ball away, but it finds Stan Collymore. He beats Chris Kamara to the ball and can find Mark Hall running down the right. 2 and 3 Southend players looking for the ball in the penalty area. Instead, Hall tries to take on the man, Chris Kamara there, who was adjudged to have fouled him. Tilson takes it at the far post to Spencer Pryor, and there's Brett Angel! 2-0 to Southend. The second goal, 5 minutes before half-time from Brett Angel. And Alec Chamberlain despairing there. Yeah, Brett Angel with his 5th goal since coming back into the team makes it 2-0 to Southend. The free kick again does the trick. At the far post was Spencer Pryor, and there was Angel. Trevor Peake, Marvin Johnson. Johnson again. But there's very little penetration this afternoon from Luton. Spencer Pryor breaks away and looks for Stan Collymore, and he has Brett Angel alongside him. Instead he takes on his man and shoots. So it could have been, with 2 minutes to go to half-time, it could have been 3-0 to Southend. A great ball there from Spencer Pryor. Finds Stan Collymore. Brett Angel is running alongside him. Collymore takes his man on, shoots. It's 2-1 here now. The goal from Kerry Dixon. The Luton throw-in eventually finds Kerry Dixon, the man who's been brought here on loan for the last 2 or 3 months of the season. He gets in the shot. It's touched by Paul Sansom, but he can't stop it going in the net. Johnson looks for Phil Gray, who takes a clattering in the head there. Referee sees nothing wrong with that, and here's Andy Sussex. Finds Stan Collymore. In the middle is Brett Angel. Collymore doesn't need him! But I think the referee has blown for an offside decision there against Stan Collymore. The linesman's flag was up before Collymore had a chance to put the ball in the net. What a great finish it was, but it was all to no avail. Stan Collymore, the man whose goals have given Southend some hope of avoiding relegation. If he stays the way today, of course they will avoid relegation. He's scored 18 so far. This was the ball here from Andy Sussex. Don't think it was Angel, don't think it was Collymore offside. Maybe it must have been Brett Angel. Here's Stan Collymore, beats John Dreyer on this occasion, looks for the cross. Cross comes in, cleared by Trevor Peake. But put back in by Steve Tilson. Again, Peake to the ball. And a flashing drive there from Keith Jones. Goes wide of the Luton Town goal. Stan Collymore over this one, maybe a shot from him, a farewell present from him to the Southend United supporters. If not, it could be Keith Jones or Steve Tilson. But here's Collymore. A lovely shot from Stan Collymore, not too wide of that Luton Town goal. I think there would have been very little that Alec Chamberlain could have done about it if it had gone on target. Collymore runs up to it, shoots, but just wide. Luton in a crashing hurry now. But the referee blows the final whistle, and that means that Southend United are safe.
They win the match 2-1, and that means that safety is assured for Southend United.
Well, at Ashton Gate, Brentford began the day with their First Division fate in their own hands. Just 4 league wins this year, but they got off to a dreadful start. Leroy Rossignol, once of West Ham, put Bristol City in front after 6 minutes. Just before the half hour, it was 2-0. Brentford a bit unlucky with the ricochet. It gave Wayne Allison a clear run in on goal, and he beat Gerry Harrison. And any doubts that Brentford would have to rely on other results disappeared early in the second half. Rossignol made the most of more space. Brentford did pull one back 2 minutes later. Neil Smiley allowed time on the left, put in the cross. Gary Blissett touched it on. Marcus Gale hit the bar. Blissett it was who knocked in the rebound. But there was to be no fairy tale comeback. Instead, Bristol City broke away again. Payton saved the first shot, but Rossignol following up completed his hat-trick. 4-1, and Brentford go down because of the other results. And these are they in Division 1. Birmingham City 1, Charlton 0. Paul Molden's goal after 56 minutes means Birmingham escape. Millwall 0, Bristol Rovers 3. A sad end to Millwall's season and to their years at the Den. They moved to their new ground in August. Notts County 3, Sunderland 1. Both teams needed to win, but Brentford's defeat means Sunderland stay up. Peterborough 1, Tranmere 1. Watford 0, Oxford United 1. All this means then this is what the bottom of Division 1 looks like. Cambridge and Brentford are relegated along with Bristol Rovers, but staying up Birmingham, Sunderland, Notts County and Southend. On to the FA Premier League and the very significant results. Arsenal 3, Crystal Palace 0. Wright, Dickov and Campbell got the goals that mean Palace are relegated on goal difference because Oldham beat Southampton 4-3. Ipswich Town 2, Nottingham Forest 1. Liverpool 6, Tottenham Hotspur 2, 2 for Ian Rush, 2 for John Barnes. Middlesbrough 3, Norwich City 3, Oldham Athletic 4, Southampton 3, that result there confirmed. Sheffield United 4, Chelsea 2. All of which means Norwich still have a chance of Europe, as we can see looking at the top of the Premier League. If Arsenal win next Saturday's FA Cup final, Norwich will be in the UEFA Cup final. Will be in the UEFA Cup next season. At the bottom, Nottingham Forest and Middlesbrough will already get relegated, but going down with them tonight, Crystal Palace. On to Division 2 and the 2 results affecting our local teams. Fulham 1, Exeter 1, Swansea City 0, Leyton Orient 1. And that's how they've finished in Division 2 at the top. Bolton go up automatically with the champion Stoke City. Orient miss out on goals scored. Port Vale, West Brom, Swansea and Stockport into the playoffs. And in Division 3, Crewe Alexandra 4, Barnet 1, Shrewsbury 2, Northampton 3, Wrexham 4, Colchester 3. Well, Barnet had to win at Crewe and hope Cardiff failed to beat Scunthorpe if they were to finish at champions, but that never looked like happening. They were 3 down in half an hour. Their only goal ended up being a consolation. That was scored by Mark Carter. And that's the top of Division 3. Barnet finish in 3rd because they lost and Cardiff and Wrexham won. In the playoff positions, it's York, Walsall, Crewe and Bury. At the bottom, Northampton stay up. Halifax lost again today, and they are out into the GM Vauxhall Conference. As for who plays who in the playoffs, in Division 2, it's Stockport against Port Vale, Swansea City against West Bromwich Albion, and in the Division 3 playoffs, York will go to Bury for their first match, and Crewe will play Walsall.
Well, welcome back here to Upton Park. There are all the facts and figures for you. Thanks to Gabriel Clark for that. And Billy, looking at all that stuff going through, I mean, the difference between winning and losing, it's knife-edge stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very close. I mean, just one result. I think a lot of managers now around the country be going here fifth. Certain games where you dropped a home point or something, you know.
I mean, amazing for you and Portsmouth. I mean, it's just a couple of goals in it after all that time.
Yeah, I've never been involved in a game like this before, you know. It's just incredible. I mean, even the last 10 minutes, things could have swung either way, really, you know. If Portsmouth scored 2 quick goals down there or something, things change again.
I mean, you were swinging around and asking me what the score was down at Fratton Park, and I don't think we sold you any duff ones, did we? But, I mean, how do you manage when all that's going on?
I mean, it was difficult for us because really we didn't know what to do, really. We didn't know whether to sit on the 1-goal lead or maybe go for the second one, and until really we knew Portsmouth score, we weren't really sure what to do. We were thinking about bringing Martin Allen on earlier to just thicken us up a little bit midfield, but we might have needed another goal if Portsmouth had scored one, so it was difficult. But we kept looking for you coming down that tunnel, waiting to come and say they were 3-1 up, but you didn't appear, so...
Yeah, we couldn't do that for you.
No.
But I mean, next season you go up into the Premier Division, and I feel sure that you will look at it very realistically and realise that you've got a heck of a lot to do well up there.
Yeah, I think we know that. I think it's nice getting the chance to go back up there again. We'll worry about that maybe in a couple of days' time.
Sure.
But obviously it's going to be difficult for us next year. But I'm sure with the spirit we've shown this year, that maybe we can put our problems we had behind us last year when we went up, when we were in that league, and I'm sure we'll maybe give a good account of ourselves.
Not so long ago, Billy, you were having a go at the fans about the way they were treating David Speedie, but I think after what he did for you early in the second half here, I don't think you get to Beatty too much if he's around here next season.
I think the fans will forgive him today. I think, you know, he's. I've just said goodbye to the little fella. You know, he's got a couple. We're going to have him in next week and a couple of days training, but Dave's got a few testimonials, and that's the last we'll see of him today. You know, but I've just sort of shook hands with him and just said, you know, he was terrific for us.
Thanks a lot. Yeah,
terrific. You know.
Of course, I mean, you're going to enjoy the weekend, and indeed you should, but are they going to give you a few bob to spend, Billy, to strengthen things here?
That remains to be seen. We'll have to, that'll be something that comes up in the next couple of weeks, I would imagine, but hopefully they will, because, as you're saying, it's going to be difficult for us next year and we'll need that.
Sure. I mean, I know they're not your concern. We've got a lot of people watching in the Anglia region about Cambridge today. I mean, and they pushed you quite hard for a long time, didn't they?
They pushed us quite hard, but I wasn't too pleased with some of the stuff they did today. And not my favourite team, let's put it that way.
Well, that's fair enough. I mean, but it was always going to be physical, it was always going to be aggressive. I mean, 28,000 people, they queued around the ground, and all that mattered to the Hammers fans was just the result that you got here today.
The one thing you worry about coming to the game today, we knew they'd be difficult today, Cambridge, because they're fighting for their lives, and the one thing you're worried about, the one thing in the back of your mind is letting the fans down today. You know there's a big atmosphere when you come here today, and you know the expectations. And the one thing that really worries you, the nightmare you have as you're laying in bed, is that it becomes a damp squid and you let the fans down today. But
you didn't do that. Just finally, a few quiet cups of tea for you tonight?
I don't know about cups of tea, Jim. A couple of bottles of something a little bit stronger.
In many ways, we're sorry to lose you, Billy. Thanks a lot for all the entertainment.
Well,
thanks for all the entertainment. Good luck up there. Well, deserved applause for Billy Bonds, and no matter where you're watching, London or Anglia, tomorrow afternoon we will see the match between Newcastle United and Leicester City. Well done, the Hammers, from us all at Upton Park. Bye-bye. If you can hear what I'm asking you, but quite a day here.
Absolutely tremendous. I've been waiting for that for a long time. These boys have been waiting for it for a long time. At one stage it was all Portsmouth. All credit to the lads. The last 6 weeks they battled away, got themselves, we got promotion. Fantastic.
Nerve-wracking day though for everybody, yourself included.
Oh, very much so. You're hearing bogus results coming through. Portsmouth maybe losing, maybe winning, but we've done the job. We've won. Great result.
The little fella's your mascot now.
Oh yeah, we couldn't win without him. I mean, we need him in the dressing room. He talks more sense than me and Bill. Brilliant he is.
Give him the team talks there. No, I thought your season started off on a bit of a downer because you had the problems with the stand and all that, the bench business. And the crowds were staying away, weren't they?
Yeah, they were, yeah. In early days, I'll be honest, we got off the coach at Newcastle when we got beat 2-0 at Newcastle, and I had a feeling we was in for a relegation battle. There was a terrible atmosphere about the place, you know, and I think then we decided, you know, Bill and myself, that we'd set about trying to just to keep encouraging them and getting a bit of team spirit again, because there was no confidence whatsoever there. In fact, the players were frightened to go out on the pitch for a kickabout before the game when we started the season. And,
but it all turned round for you.
But it turned round. So we just tried to build a bit of confidence, and it's worked, and they've been tremendous, the players.
I thought, funnily enough, when Bobby Moore died, all your supporters, all your new supporters all got together.
Yeah.
And it seemed to then, everything seemed to gel after that, and the crowds were bigger, and everybody got behind the team, and you had a great run in.
Yeah, I think we've come together. I mean, that's been important. The fans have come back, and they've enjoyed the football we've played, and so I'm sure that next year now, you know, the confidence, it's all about confidence here, and as we said earlier, you know, you need to have a confident dressing room and players that want to go out and play and want to play for each other. And I feel we've got that now.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, everybody's saying now, what about additions to your club, new players? I mean, there was one chairman of a club said, I hope we get up into the next division because I'll be able to get some money and get rid of some of you players.
To buy some good players,
to buy some good players. But, I mean, you'll need to strengthen your squad, obviously.
Yeah, we do. We certainly need to bring in 2 or 3 players to make the squad a bit stronger. I mean, we don't want to come up and then go down again. That's going to be no use at all. And I think that it's going to be a very difficult league next year, the First Division. You know, look at Notts Forest, Middlesbrough are going to be, you know, Palace are going to be good sides, and Stoke and Bolton have come up to be good, decent teams. Derby have got to come good sooner or later. So it was a good time to get out, but we certainly don't want to go back into it again.
Okay, Harry. Right, well,